All right. Good evening and good night, and welcome to It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023, coming to you live from St. Croix, Virgin Islands. Another hot day in the neighborhood. This is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. We come to you live via YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Synced up through StreamYard. We use StreamYard to push our stream out. I love it. It works well. Does a lot of neat stuff. On that note, I want to give a quick shout out to Bingy Soup. Our guest knows him as Mr. Carter, but I call him Bingy Soup. I want to send a special shout out to him. Hope everything is Isla Ites. We have a special guest in the studio tonight. You can reach our guest tonight. 340-513-2469. It'll come in here and we'll link it up here, and she can hear, I can hear you. We both can respond. What else we got? I think that's it. I forgot my talk show notes, so I'm kind of clueless here. But anyway, we're going to move right into the show here. We do have a special guest in the studio tonight, and her name is Cesi Davidson. She was here just a couple weeks ago. She was talking about, she has a couple new books that are on Amazon. And we also touched a little bit about sexual harassment. Domestic violence as well. And I think there was one other topic we touched on too, right? Was the books, domestic violence, and maybe was it something else that we touched on?
Just my writing in general.
Okay, and her writing, she is an author, a writer, a speech therapist, among other things.
A mother, a daughter, a sister.
A mother, daughter, and a sister.
A partner.
A partner.
A friend.
A friend. She does many things and is many things. Thanks for her coming back to the show tonight. We actually have her in the studio tonight. Last time, a couple weeks back, she was at her location. I was here in the studio. But we were having some internet problems. I just thought it might be a little useful to have her in the studio to see how it goes. So without further ado, let me see if I can get this right. There she is. Wave to the crowd. Her name is Cesi Davidson. She is live in the studio. Welcome back again. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. And how are you doing, David?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for coming back so quickly. Really appreciate that. And you had some important stuff to talk about as well. So fill us in here a little bit.
Well, first, I had a great day as usual working with the precious gems of St. Croix, the children. Exhausting, but a beautiful, wonderful day with these very bright, creative, loving children. Before I forget, I want to just show my books.
Of course.
To the audience.
Of course.
I have 3 books published by Aqueduct Press: Articulation, Fricatives.
Okay.
And bilabials.
All right. There they go right there. And these books are definitely on Amazon. I think you just search for her name, Cesi. It's Cesi Davidson, and it'll pop right up. You'll see them right there.
And so I also want to make sure that I don't forget to talk about the event this weekend at the St. George Village Botanical Garden under the Strangler Fig. So next to the Overseer House on this sacred ground under the Strangler Fig, I will present with the support of our featured actor, Tara Troy, director Kim Chin, Miss Grier Rises, which is a brief story. If for those of you who did not attend the last podcast, I write short plays to nourish the mind and soul. So I get you into a story, entertain you, inspire you, hopefully encourage some intelligent conversation. And this play, Miss Grier Rises, is the story of Dr. Ann Grier, Liza Ann Grier, who was the first Black woman licensed to be a physician in the state of Georgia. and that was in 1898. And she had a rather challenging, astounding life. She was emancipated as a child, really as an infant, and she was fortunate enough to attend the precursor to Fisk University, which was a normal school. I think they called it the colored normal school at that time, before it officially became Fisk University. She didn't feel that she had it in her soul to be a teacher. She wanted to be a physician. She didn't have money to pay for medical school after she was admitted, so she worked every other year picking cotton in order to pay her tuition. And sadly, after finishing medical school, and starting her practice, she died 5 years after that process. So the play will show a glimpse of her life. I'm so excited to have it on that the ground of the St. George Botanical Garden because of the history there. For those of you who don't know, it was a place where enslaved Africans were forced to produce and harvest and sugarcane.
Mm-hmm.
And so the beauty that's there now sits on top of many souls that sacrificed and died. So in my way, I'm linking and doing my part to support the UN initiative, which started in 2013, where the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution called People of African Descent, with the theme of People of African Descent Recognition, Justice, and Development. International Decade focused on this theme. So I'm uniting the states with the beautiful island of St. Croix to jointly open up this discussion of emancipation and remove some of these false boundaries that separate mainland United States Black and brown people from Caribbean Black and brown people.
Okay.
I read a really interesting and inspiring article from the Virgin Islands Consortium. It was called Emancipation and Self-Determination in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Sojourn of Our Past Struggles with a Vision for a Brighter Society. And it was written by Dr. Linda Smith from the University of the Virgin Islands. I was very inspired by this article. Her focus was, I would say, the traditional look at emancipation, where we think of emancipation as freedom from enslavement.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just expand that perspective and think about and raise the issue to the audience about emancipation being more than a single event or a series of events where enslaved people are freed. And instead, think about it in the way that I see Bob Marley is behind us. Most of us will never forget those memorable words where he says, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. So that's looking at emancipation in a spiritual sense. And when we look at emancipation in a spiritual sense, it's more than a single event. It's more than historical occurrences. It's how we work for freedom every day. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Perfect sense.
So of course, we house much of our emancipation in this sense in our music, in our movement, in our laughter, in our songs, in our languages, in our storytelling. And so in that way, our arts can help to capture and sustain our emancipation, keep us working for freedom every day, and remembering that that wonderful phrase that I learned while I was here, all are we, all of us, all of us have to be free. It's not just one person, it's not just us as individual. Our individual freedom and emancipation contributes to the emancipation and freedom of the whole. Were there any questions?
No. You're lecturing. You're coming in loud and clear. We got
I don't mean to lecture. I hope, I'm encouraging some thought about this issue and some contemplation that we can all exchange. So I want to start then with reading from some of my work. The first work that I'll read from is called Voice Lessons. And at the time when I wrote this work, I wasn't sitting down to think, I'm going to write a play that unites the diaspora, the children of the diaspora. I just sat down and wrote this play, and when I was finished, I realized what it was about. Voice Lessons is a story of two celestial beings named he and she, who reside in a Caribbean utopia somewhere between heaven and earth. And in exchange for the privilege of remaining together for eternity, they perform time travel missions. Their responsibility is to collect lessons from the experiences of Africans of the diaspora that can help relieve the current sufferings of the people. And once collected, they disperse the lessons as intentions that people feel as inspiration. The story begins as they prepare to travel in time for the lesson of the day, the voice lessons. Okay. Now, before anybody gets upset, I want to tell you that I write fiction, realistic fiction. So when you hear this language, don't say it doesn't sound like Crucian dialect. Just remember, it's fiction, my language that I created. Okay, everybody? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
She. Not that one man. Go up more. Why me need to go further? This one good. This old piece here full of big ripe coconuts ready to fall if me don't take them way myself. No, me say me want that one up top, the one close to the sky. Woman, why you need trouble me so? Me can cut down 10 coconut and give you all you can use for 1 week or more. When you be courting me, you climb up tree farther than this tree and you cut down any coconut me choose. When me young, me do lots of things for the challenge. Now me do what necessary. And me say, you no need me climb all the way up there. Get that one coconut looking at the sky. So there's this kind of banter play between husband and wife in the beginning before they decide to go on their journey. And so they visit different occurrences in my fictional history. And one that they visit, I realized later on, was actually an occurrence in the life of Sojourner Truth. For those of you who aren't familiar, Sojourner Truth was an abolitionist. She freed herself because she said she was free. She was enslaved in upstate New York. And she is often portrayed in history as being very flat. in the sense of just being a historical icon, never really recognized for being the whole person of a woman that she is. For example, she had children, she had a true love, and she wasn't able to fully express herself with her true love because he was enslaved on another farm, and she was forced to have children with someone who lived on the farm where her owner resided. Okay. So we have Sojourner and her lover in the woods. Here's some ferns for you. They will soon wither and die. And he takes a piece of cloth with print on it from a knapsack. She puts down the bouquet of ferns to hold the cloth with 2 hands. Here's some lady ferns for you. These ferns will live as long as the cloth lives. How did you get the green color in the fern picture on the cloth? It looks so real. I make a dye from the plants, and I made a print. In my home, my grandfather and my grandmother made the prints on the cloth, and they taught me. I did it a new way here, a new way for this new place. Dyeing and printing remind me of home, and now this cloth will remind you of me. This print is my voice on the cloth. So he's talking about his former life in Africa, now in the Americas, working hard to hold on to traditions like dyeing cloth and stories and memories of his homeland, of both of their homelands. I best be leaving now before the master does his head count. I'm going to hide this cloth and keep it forever. This may be a promise. This plan won't let you keep. Good night, my lady. Put my voice under your head and sleep sweetly. So what happens during this scene is he's found by the enslavers, and he is beaten close to death, and Sojourner is never able to see him again. Mm-hmm. So my stories of Sojourner Truth have been captured in a series of plays called Raw Truth with the phenomenal actor Aita Kendricks. And they've been presented in Ulster County, in Harlem, and other parts of New York State. These plays aim at uncovering the misrepresentation of Sojourner Truth and focusing on her self-emancipation and her life as a fully dimensional woman. Okay, so now they continue to journey, trying to find out what the lesson is for this particular day. And they find themselves in a daycare. And I'm sure, Mr. Carter, if you are listening, you could relate to this scene. I wish you were here so you could read this with me. The 2 children, a boy and a girl, and the little girl is playing with words. Pop, pop, popcorn. I'm making the pop, pop, popcorn. Get a big pot, stir it up, put in the grease, put it up, stir it up, put it on the stove, make the fire big and hot. When your mommy can't see you, stir it up, then watch it pop. Do the popcorn dance, stir it up, pop, pop. Do the popcorn dance, stir it up, pop, pop. Stop that singing. I don't have to stop. You're not the boss of my voice. Stop. That's not a real song. You made it up. It is a real song, and I made it up, so it's a real song. Stir it up, and then the boy is crying hysterically. Why are you crying? It's just a popcorn song and my popcorn dance. Use your words. I can't understand you when you're crying. Use your voice. green. I need more green crayons. I only have forest green. I need more colors. I need fern green and jungle green and pine green and emerald green. I want to finish my story. I hope those of you who are teachers and therapists and parents out there can relate to this and how children are so remarkably free and creative when we allow them to be, when we don't stifle that creativity, forcing them to conform to particular rules and designing their creativity in any particular way. So then he's drawing and he tells his story. The green dragon with 5 heads was walking into the castle where the princess was hiding, and he was huffing and puffing. I'll blow your house down, said the big bad wolf. And the African prince heard the Brooklyn princess scream, save me, I'll protect you. What big eyes you have, said the wolf. And the prince called the magic dogs from the playground, growl, growl. And the magic dogs cooked the pancakes and, I forgot a part. The first dragon head was the greediest, and he tried to eat up all the pancakes. But the very smart African prince, who looked like me, no, you need to share all the dragon heads and pancakes. And it was a trick. And the dragon heads and the dragon bodies started to shrink until they got very, 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 very small, and then smaller than a bug. And then they couldn't hurt the Brooklyn princess from Fulton Street. And she was so happy. And they said to the handsome, very smart African prince, who looked like me, my hero, Superman, and the African prince, Superman, hero, and the princess from Atlantic Avenue, the princess from Fulton Street, went together with the magic dogs, who are very, very good dogs, and went to the store and got free ice cream without preservatives. The end. That was a good story. I liked your voices. You don't need any more crayons. So I hope some of you who have children can recognize how beautifully, like, disconnected their creativity can be, but so beautiful. Definitely this story that the little boy was reciting and trying to write, which probably looked like scribbles, didn't meet with any conventions of English, conventions of print. This is what makes a sentence. This is how we put our punctuation. This is how we make complex sentences. Didn't meet any of that, but there was something that, and children need to learn conventional literacy, but this is creativity that we never want to shut down. What do you think, David?
Oh, sounds fair to me. But before you go on, I just want to share some comments with you. We do have a few people commenting.
Okay.
There we go. The first person, you can see it right there.
Hi, Susan. Susan Andrasco happens to be a master speech language clinician working in New York State. She's amazing. I've learned so many therapy skills from her. And I'm so happy to have you here, Susan. Thank you for watching.
Next comment here.
Okay, this is from my wonderful friend from British Columbia. British Columbia is in the house. So Sandy Maisel is a wonderful advocate for the arts, and she has been my friend over many years and inspired me and given me lots of support. Welcome, Sandy, to the beautiful island of St. Croix.
And we have one here from Sandy again.
Okay.
And then we have another one here from Susan again.
Okay.
She says, oh, yes, I hear you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, Susan, I'm curious to know, do you recognize any of that kind of language from children who are being very creative with their storytelling? Oh, yes, I hear you. So I think she does. Thank you, Susan.
And this one just popped up. Wonderful friend and colleague.
Thank you, Susan.
All right.
Okay. Voice lessons. So that's talking about, I guess you could say that's talking about the characters' experience, creative emancipation. They want emancipation in their love in their family life. And so the lesson at the end of this story, this play is actually in the first book, the first anthology of plays called Articulation.
Mm-hmm.
And so the emancipation and this lesson in this play is that, which gets revealed toward the end, is that we have to release our inner spirituality to the outside world, that we shouldn't keep it hidden.
And then your friend Sandra just popped in again that creativity is as important as the structure.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Susan. And I think sometimes teachers and therapists, they force the structure on students before they have the chance to experience and express that creativity. And children learn how to read and write at different paces.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we force them before they're ready, sometimes we are inhibiting that creativity that needs to emerge naturally.
Okay.
All right. One of the things that I enjoy doing as a writer, some of you may have heard from the last podcast, is I enjoy giving human experiences to non-humans, plants, bushes, trees, animals.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I want to read from another type of emancipation. We're going to experience human emancipation through a cow. And this play is called Moo Better Blues, and it's from the anthology Fricatives. The characters are Daisy, a cow; Tarek Johns, he's the slaughter advisor for Slaughterhouse Unlimited; Curtis, he's a co-owner of Safe Pastures Frozen Yogurt; and Aaron, he's also a co-owner of Safe Pastures Frozen Yogurt. The setting is the Heifer Consultation Room at Slaughterhouse Unlimited. Mr. John sits behind his desk. Enter Daisy. Okay, so you're going to hear human language, but remember, Daisy is a cow. All right. We begin with Tarek. Moo, Daisy. Moo back to you. Tarek. I'm sorry, I can't resist. Knock, knock. Come on, indulge me. Who's there? Daisy. Daisy who? Daisy moo better. That's not funny. Yeah, it is, you know. You moo like a cow, but you moo better than a regular cow because you moo and you can talk. So Daisy moo better. That's not funny. A pleasure. No, an honor to meet you, Daisy. And may I say that you have an outstanding rump. Cows your age usually have sagging udders and a wrinkled up rump. You're beautiful and brainy. I don't know whether to say thank you or cringe. You know, I'm not here because I have a beautiful body. Daisy, please sit. No, stand, whatever you feel. I had a collapsible stall built for you for this consultation. You're welcome to try it and see if it will help you feel more comfortable. Shall I get it? I was born in a stall. I spent my adult life in a pasture. Oh, let me review my notes. Yes, grass-fed, no steroids, no hormones, upstate New York farm family. Got it, sorry. I accept your apology. I'm so fascinated with you, Daisy. If only clean living could explain your intelligence. So I hope everybody's following. Daisy is a cow who's very bright and she speaks. And they discovered this, so she's an anomaly. And they're trying to figure out why she can speak. So she's with a slaughter counselor, which is a new position that was created at the slaughterhouse to accommodate cows like Daisy who have intelligence, because they believe since she has intelligence, she should have some ability to weigh into how she's slaughtered. Okay? All right. Okay. Is this part of your slaughter consultation? Daisy, family-owned and nurtured cows are nothing new, but the discovery of your remarkable intelligence has completely revolutionized the cow slaughter industry. I mean, Daisy, there wouldn't be slaughter advisors if it weren't for you. And I'm the first slaughter advisor in this industry. How nice for you. This consultation is about my life and death story. Quite frankly, if we don't discover some more intelligent cows soon, I'm out of a job as fast as I got it. Back to the blood and guts line then. I understand your focus on your personal issues, but keep in mind that Slaughter Unlimited and the whole notion of advising a heifer before death is only taking place because of you. The discovery, though, that you cows can have intelligence comparable to humans has forced us to consider kill procedures that are more cow-friendly. Again, thanks for getting me off that factory butcher line. Just out of curiosity, Mr. Jones, what kind of training did they give you to do this job? The company is still working on it. This is a new industry and there aren't rules and regulations mandated by the state yet. Lucky me. You're a hoot, or should I say hooters? Don't be concerned. I had a community college introduction to social work course. I also attended a special seminar on death and dying. The affordable healthcare insurance agent for our company provides it free for our company. The seminar was actually about understanding the stages of grief for caregivers of people dying from chronic disease, but I'm sure that there's something that applies here, like mad cow disease. And I hope you don't mind. My boss wants me to take some notes from your feedback. We want to continue improving our slaughter and advertisement procedures. So he does all kinds of ridiculous things, stereotype things, like he does a fake indigenous people dance with a cow head, mocking Native Americans. He does, makes all kind of jokes about cows. He just intimidates her. And then he gets to the point where he offers her the choices. Let's see. You just give me a moment. Okay. So he asks her if she wants to be killed cowboy style with a rope, if she wants to be killed halal style, if she wants to be killed by a rabbi and be kosher meat. So, none of this is helping her to feel more comfortable, of course. And then she is emancipated by two young men who own a yogurt company who come to the slaughter farm and release her after she sings her blues song, the thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. The thrill is gone, Mr. John. The thrill is gone away. You done me wrong, Tarek, and you'll be sorry someday. And that's Move Better Blues. And so I hope you will purchase the book and read more about Daisy.
It's in one of those books,
Yes,
right? Which
it's in fricatives.
fricatives?
Yes,
You know,
fricatives.
fricative.
Okay. Do we have any more questions, or do you have any questions, David?
Not particularly. I'm just kind of listening, enjoying your your many renditions of your characters that you have in the book. But no, go ahead. I mean, you're doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I read some more, audience?
Should you read some more? Give us a yes. Give us a yes. We got another comment there. Here we go. Put it up on the screen there.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you.
And don't forget, you can reach our guest tonight, 340-513-2469. That call will ring right here. She'll be able to hear you. She'll be able to respond directly to you.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. So I'm not going to read too much from this next story. I'm going to tell you about it and how it relates to emancipation. This story is called A Day Without Rain. It's been produced in New York with a phenomenal actor, Marjorie Johnson, at the George Bruce Library. It's the story of a granddaughter and her grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And what's important to know about this family is that the grandmother is very dark complexioned, and the granddaughter is very fair and might be able to pass for white. And, you know, just as an aside, it doesn't relate to this play, but I want to say one of the things that I have treasured about my experience in St. Croix is that I haven't experienced any persecution because of my complexion or my hair texture. And for a Black woman that has had a very full career and working life, that has been a very healing experience for me. Okay. All right. So they are preparing for a hurricane, which they didn't have much warning. And so they're collecting, they live in a little casita, and they are gathering the most important things. You should know that Carolina, the granddaughter, was sent to the island by her mother in New York. Again, I'm a New Yorker, so it comes up quite often. Sent by her mother in New York. Mm-hmm. To more or less dry out, get off drugs, get away from a bad crowd. And she put her mother in charge to approach that with not only cold turkey, you're away from the drugs, but with some spiritual prayer, mm-hmm. and chanting and healing. And so they're packing up and they're getting ready for being evacuated by a van that has come up to the isolated mountain where they are. And Carolina says, there's a man outside with a van. He said that there is an evacuation to higher ground. Abuela, thanks God, hurry, take one bag, bring my cash box. There is little fruit, and we don't know when we'll be able to come back. Move quickly. We've been through worse. No time for fear, Carolina. Carolina, he said there is limited space on the van. Abuela, then it's good he's here. We're blessed. Carolina, he said there's no room for my maid. So Can anyone in the audience, or can you, David, tell me what that's about? There's no room for my maid.
There's no room for my maid?
Mhm. So a man is coming to pick up people to evacuate them from the hurricane. The young girl who can pass for white is collecting things. The grandmother's collecting things. And the man in the van says, your maid can't come. Remember, the grandmother is very dark complexion.
Mm.
So, colorism.
Yes.
Colorism and the segregation of Black and brown people by complexion and how fair they are. The more fair they are, the more acceptable they are. And if you can pass, even better. So even within a family, issues of enslavement and emancipation linger because of complexion.
Okay. And you said that you haven't.
This one has not been put in an anthology yet.
Okay.
But you were asking me a question.
So, but you were saying you haven't experienced any of this this colorism,
No.
or
Well, I'm going to do it. Say even stronger, persecution because of my complexion, and that's from because of my complexion and because of my hair choices, my hair texture. So.
Another comment here. Reference to color.
Yes, that's correct. So when Sandy in our audience recognized that it was about color.
Okay. More?
Oh, here's a note for you.
Yeah, I fixed that.
Oh.
Yeah, I fixed that.
Okay. All right. So should I keep reading, audience?
Yay!
Okay.
Two more.
Okay. It's Nasty in the Kitchen. Nasty in the Kitchen is about 6 women representing reimagined world leaders coming together in a kitchen to cook. And while planning the meal, cooking together, and then feasting, they lay plans to solve issues regarding homeland. The problem becomes more complicated when a woman comes to share in the cooking and she's unable to contribute any food to the meal. One woman opposes admitting the new woman to the kitchen. Her behavior is nasty, and the women handle the nastiness. The characters are intentionally written as stereotypes. The comedy has the end intention of encouraging the realization of working together, even with those we don't like. And this was inspired by an installation at the Brooklyn Museum called The Dinner Party by Judy Chicago, where there's a very big table and there are dinner plates and settings for real and imagined women in history. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take the liberty and just read the lines of one particular character. And she is purposely written to be a female embodiment of former president whose name starts with T, maybe TR. And he inspired the development of this character, Margaret. So Margaret enters. So all the women are there: Avaluna, Standing Flower, Gwai Gwai, Io, Priyanka. Women representing different nations. Okay, Margaret enters. I'm here, big zero. You women achieve nothing by yourself. And she tosses her hair. Chinese, Korean, Japanese girl, bring me a mirror. I lost mine. Picks up strands of her hair, looks at Io's face. Go ahead, smell it. Fantastic conditioner. My own formula. Okay. So she continues touching Io's hair, who's a Black woman, right? You know how we feel about our hair being touched.
Mhm.
Okay. It can smooth those nappy edges. Hey, $5.95 each. If you buy a case, you can bring them to your temple, mosque, or whatever. You should look nice for your husband, even if he has a dozen wives, and maybe some versions. She's speaking to the Muslim woman now. So what are you up to? I got other things to do. Shake hands, kiss babies, steal companies, wipe out universal health care. She's looking around. What? By the way, where's the rice? So their goal as a group is to make rice and bring different contributions to make the rice. Io says, we eat rice only after we do the work. We miss the broom ceremony, You missed the broom ceremony, Margaret. This is the first time in the kitchen. You should have attended. Ridiculous, waste of time, stupid. Let's get down to business, salt. So Margaret has the salt, and they want salt for the rice, but she's not interested in sharing it. Salt, that's it. My food is mine. I earned it. I'm keeping it. I take care of Margaret first. And she's looking in the mirror, admiring herself and walking around the kitchen. Look at my face. Perfect. And I haven't had any work done. And my body's a 10. Astounding. I'll show you my boobs. No, we don't want to see them. And I haven't had any work done in those girls either. And I got a great pussy too. You want to see it? No, we don't want to see it. I want to see it, says Avaluna. Margaret, I love to grab pussies because I can. I don't ask for pussies. Hetero, lesbo, trans, they all are pussies to me. I grab cocks and dildos. Fabulous. Fabulous. Don't listen to what the press says about me. Fake news, lies, lies, lies. I'm finished with you. Out of here. She's a thief, a lowlife. Check your pockets and your handbags. I like Black people, the highly educated ones, the poorly educated ones, and the Black people like me. Check my ratings, like that Harriet Tubman, that railroad she built. Fantastic. Underground Railroad? Harriet Tubman is dead, and the Underground Railroad wasn't a train, you twit. It was a secret escape route from slavery. Hey, you're calling me a name. Not nice, not nice. And making a call on your cell phone. Look around this kitchen. This kitchen is old, terrible. Yeah. You're an idiot, Savania. They know nothing. You got nothing. Nobody has nothing on me. Call me back when your thong isn't cutting your air supply to your brain. And panties, I got panties, 10 for $1, made locally by little old ladies, no welfare. I put grannies to work. My granny was hot, by the way. Yeah, she was a Jew, and her behind was big and round. I'd look at it when I was a kid and just want to squeeze it. I want to squeeze your tushy chat, Granny. You're disgusting. This is what we can do. Gut this place. We'll make this kitchen great again. We'll make this kitchen great again. We'll make this world great again. Me, my idea, no help. I'm smart. Smartest woman here. The worst problem with this kitchen, and it affects everybody, and I mean that, is the walls. You, generic Black woman over there. Are there any walls around you? Walls around that Underground Railroad? Walls? Of course not. That's my point. You Black people could make more progress if you build a wall around that railroad. You understand about walls, Chinese lady? No, Mexican lady? But I'll build a greater wall. And those Mexicans are going to pay for it. Okay. So that's a little taste of Nasty in the Kitchen. I hope you recognize my inspiration for Margaret. Anybody?
You can reach our guest tonight by calling 340-513-2469. Give us a call, give her a call, ask a question, make a comment. She's doing great tonight. Thank you so much for coming on. Share with our viewers again about Saturday.
Yes. So Saturday at the St. George Botanical Garden at 12:30. Bring your lawn chair. $20 will provide you with a book and performance by the fabulous Tara Troy, who will portray Dr. Eliza Ann Grier, directed by Kim Chin. I'm the writer, of course. This is the story of the first Black female physician licensed in the state of Georgia, who had an amazing life, emancipated as an infant, and then went on to become a doctor, working every other year, picking cotton in order to pay her tuition. So I hope that you are going to come and enjoy that. Bring your lawn chair, and there will be fabulous drumming by Ray Isles. Just follow the sound of the drumming toward the overseer's house, and you'll see us under the strangler fig.
And this is from what time to what time?
From 12:30.
Okay.
From
And the
12:30.
Botanical Garden is right here on St. Croix, Virgin Islands, Mid-Island. Can't miss it. There's some big signs on the Queen Mary Highway that will sort of get you to where you need to go. So we had another comment here from...
I see a lot of people out of town who would love to be here. Thank you. If you can, please, and you won't be able to make the performance, please buy one of my fabulous books. The more you support these books, the more I can write. So I appreciate that. Okay, thank you.
And here's the first one here. And we'll get a close-up on the second one here. That's it right there. And we'll get a close-up on the third one. This is right here. And all these books are available on Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com and type in Cesi Davidson, and they'll pop right up.
Thank you.
And we got another comment here from, she says she'll be there.
All right.
She's coming down.
Okay.
And
Love to have out-of-towners. Okay. May Cornwall is here. Thank you for tuning in, May.
yes, she says 100. So it's a seal of approval there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and you can see here, Ceci, who's tuned in from where. You know, this person's on Facebook. The red is YouTube, so you can get
wonderful.
people from both places.
Thank you. And May is coming. Wonderful.
Yeah, she
looking
said she
forward
will
to
be-
seeing you, May.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe she is on St. Croix, but I could be wrong.
Yes, she is on St. Croix.
Yes,
She's one of my new St. Croix friends.
Yes, I think I know her, or maybe I don't. The name sounds familiar. She says she'll be here. She'll be there on Saturday at the St. Croix Botanical Garden in St. George's, St. Croix, from 12:30.
12:30, and please arrive on time. It's a short play. I don't want you to miss it. And you'll receive a book and book signing, and we will just enjoy the day.
May says you do, David. I kind of thought I knew her.
So I want to, before we close, I just want to circle back and just to this topic of emancipation, because, in the States, we are going to celebrate Juneteenth. We're also going to celebrate Sojourner Truth Day. We have other types of celebrations, and I know this year is 175th anniversary of emancipation for St. Croix.
Mhm.
So we have these historical events which we need to treasure and hold dear, pass down to our children. But we also need to remember that emancipation is not just an event. It's not just a historical date or series of dates. Emancipation is a process. It's freedom that we need to work for every day. And there are so many challenges to our freedom that we need to be very vigilant. We need to be very aware and recognize when our freedom is being challenged and pass that knowledge on to our children.
All right. So on that note, I want to thank Cesi Davidson for coming in again. She was here a couple weeks ago, giving us some insight into her books. And what your readings tonight are from the fricatives?
I read from Articulation and from Fricatives.
Okay, both of those books.
Yes.
And you'll be doing, I guess, sort of the same rendition on Saturday or something a little different?
Something completely new. You'll be entertained, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll be inspired.
Mm-hmm.
You'll want to come to New York and see more, or invite me here more to see more.
Okay. So thank you so much for coming out. She was here, like I said, a couple weeks back, and we were talking about domestic violence. And this is still Domestic Violence Month, right? Or was that last month?
We're in May, so
That was last month.
Yeah, well, October is the official recognition of domestic violence. But just to circle back to that discussion, safe homes is something we need to work for every day, whether it's Domestic Violence Month or not.
Mm-hmm.
And women need safe homes. Children need safe homes. We all need safe homes, and we need that strength of mindset to protect our home, which is our personal temple and our personal mindset.
Okay. So once again, I want to thank you for coming out. Ceci was here. We did the show last week remotely, but this time, she came into the studio here. Actually, you are our first guest since COVID to come into the studio here. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out here and spend it with us here on the It's Your Perspective Talk Show podcast every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. AST time. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. On Twitter, you can link us up at VI Perspective. On Facebook and YouTube, it's just simply It's Your Perspective Talk Show. You can find us there as well. As we wrap up here, it's 9 p.m. Anybody want to call in real quick and say hi, hello, make a comment, ask a question? Any last words? I'll leave you, the guest, to just give us our final words tonight.
Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. Thank you, Bob Marley, Redemption Song.
Redemption Song, that is correct. Yep, thank you so much for your generosity. From
thank you, Sandy.
From Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, May, and everyone who tuned in.
And May says, "Amen, amen." Go for that. So on that note, we're out. Everybody enjoy their evening. Be safe. Try to stay cool too, because it has been hot here in St. Croix. Drink plenty of water. Enjoy yourself and be safe. On that note, we're out. Be sure to check out Cesi on Saturday at Botanical Gardens here in St. Croix. She's got some new stuff, some exciting stuff that she'll be reading. And sure to entertain, make you laugh, make you smile, make you think, and make you say, ooh la la.
All right.
So on that note, we're out. Everybody be safe. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
We'll be back tomorrow night with another show with another exciting guest. We're out. Peace.
Peace.